The following is an excerpt from an askSlim member video. Subscribe to our channel on YouTube and share it. We put tons of new videos out every week. Like this video, give it a thumbs up, and follow us on Twitter at askSlim. Email matt@askSlim.com and request a demo of our technical analysis services, trade planning tools, and amazing video workshops. Our services support all trading and investment styles. Please do enjoy this video.
This is an askSlim trade idea video walkthrough for an intermediate term short in Garmin. Garmin has had a big round trip after being super positive, and we've been positive on this stock all throughout this period right here, where it just kept running to the upside off of that old March COVID low. You can see just positive cycle after positive cycle. After that, we had our first breakdown right here. Now left-hand translation, and another left-hand translation here in Garmin. So big round trip working its way all the way back to where it started. What's happening is that we are late here in this intermediate term corrective period. You can see right here, we've already moved through that old cycle low at 92.53. Our next low is only due 926 to 1031. If we shift over to the daily chart, you'll see what's going on here. So this is an intermediate term idea. So it's going to take a little bit of time to likely set up. But what we're seeing here, and I've annotated this going back, you can see off this daily cycle breakdown right here, failure in the red zone. We had a breakdown right here, failure in the red zone, or just under it. Daily cycle breakdown here, failure in the red zone. Daily cycle breakdown here, failure in the red zone. You're seeing a trend, okay? Here we had a daily cycle breakdown, failure in really the top of that zone, and here this is just a very hard to read left-hand translation right here, where we had just two bars. The only way to know that is really after the fact, but all of these cycles have been really quite clear. Here you can see rally off of a lower cycle low versus that old low, failure in the red zone as well, and made a new low. Now here we did eke our way into a slightly higher daily cycle high. Let's see why that happened. That happened right here. You can see on the left side of the chart that was off of a key weekly low. So it made sense to get a slightly higher cycle high, right? So that created that chance for a basing cycle. But obviously post earnings, you can see what happened. This actually gapped down on earnings and made a slightly lower low. So now we have a bearish daily cycle structure here as well, and guess what happened? We rallied into the red zone, failed, and then rolled over again. So you can see just over and over again, this has not been able to get through these zones. So that's why we have our favorable entry right here, which is the short-term 50 to the short-term 51.8, drawn from this cycle high to that cycle low. And what we're looking for is a rally into the center of that zone around that period, and then start to roll over after that, after just a modest little uptick, just like we saw in each of those cycles that I've highlighted here for you on the daily. So I wanted to take time to walk through this daily chart because I think it is very clear, and it gives you a really clear sense for why we have the levels that we do. In terms of the levels on the upside that will tell us that we are wrong on this idea, that would be a move through the 78.6. And what you'll see is throughout this whole period, we never had a move through the 78.6. So there has been nothing but a core negative bias, obviously outside of this period right here, which was off of a weekly low. So everything here is negative. Some of the evidence favors a bear flag to form and a failure, and then a move back to the downside. In terms of the levels come in at 93.57 to 95.18. That is the favorable entry. If it closes over the 78.6 at 97.48, that would render this idea no longer valid. And in terms of the levels on the downside, we're looking for a move through the old daily cycle low at 86.73, and then the base of this blue zone here at 84.40. The theoretical risk on this idea is right around 409, targeting a move of around 683 to 916. So that's the overall trade idea here in Garmin. As always, if you have any questions or comments, feel free to reach out. Thanks again, and have a great weekend.